live in the flesh in the Forge studio to talk to you guys about a couple of different things: genetic potential and hard work. But first,
we niff.
We got a new.
I'm gonna try the new.
We got a new.
We can all try the new. I'll start this. I'll start it.
All right.
It's called nose candy. It's bubblegum flavored. These have flavors, by the way. Ready, boys?
Good flavors.
We'll take one. Well, I'll take one.
Ready? Shake, shake, pank, pank.
Silence plus violence.
Oh, fuck. Dude, it's like bubble gum, but it hurts.
Can you chew on it?
That's like pain gum. Oh, yeah, it got a little stronger.
That's sharp.
It got a little stronger, dude.
That's sharp.
I think I got some of it in my eye.
Oh.
That's weird. Bubblegum is such like a
Happy
baby,
thing, dude.
like a soft, like happy thing.
Why bubblegum is so happy? Why would you make it so death right there?
To trick you into getting more.
Yeah.
It's pretty good though.
You know, we've gone too far when our salts start having flavors.
I know.
It's like ammonia wasn't good enough. I need something flavored ammonia.
It's an acquired taste.
I had to get it out of my nose, dude. Sorry. Well, to start the podcast, you know, one thing that we hear a lot and things that we discuss is, you know, there are people out there that are genetic freaks.
For sure.
Right? And a lot of the time, and I'd say more often than not, we compare ourselves to those people that maybe have a greater genetic potential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you see people like Arnold, Ronnie Coleman.
The Mountain. They just like are Brian
Mountain.
Shaw.
Yeah, just absolute phenoms.
Yeah.
Right? And we think that we can get there. Right?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's not really the case, right? Because these guys are they have a level of, you know, athletic performance, you know, aesthetics that just maybe not in our cards as normal people, right? And we have to play the hands that we're dealt. You know, we can't try to play off of someone else's hands.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, there's a couple of ways that you can look at genetics. And one thing that Mike and I discuss all the time, and Trey, is, you know, we see people using genetics as an excuse.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one thing I don't want you guys to ever use, because when I say that you have to play the cards that you're dealt, you don't take it and run with that and say, this is why I can't, because my genetics. That's where the hard work comes in.
Yeah, it's like kind of two ends of the spectrum, right? Some people are comparing themselves or like idolizing, thinking that's going to be their goal. So they're going to like look at someone like Arnold or the Mountain or something, or these genetic elites, and then think that that's maybe where they're going to try to set their standards or goals to, which is not realistic. And then the other end of the spectrum, people are going to just, you know, blame their genetics for why they're not maybe doing something about it, or not like really working hard, or it's like, what's the point? I can't get there, or I'm never going to look like that, or they have it easy and so I can't do that. Like, how much more work would it take for me to not even look half as good, right?
Yeah, which is, it's hard to hear, because I think for me, the biggest thing and the greatest motivator, and I might be obsessed with it, is the person that's in the mirror, right? If I'm beating who I was before, I'm doing better, right? It doesn't matter that Mike has better genetics. You know, Mason's going to be a better puller than anybody in here.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter. It's how I progress and the hard work that I put into it. That is what matters to me.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm better than I was yesterday, then I've won. Right? It's every single day. It's that progression that keeps moving me forward.
Yeah.
I don't want to look around. I don't want to look to the audience to see who has the best genetics, because I'm not concerned of their opinions. I'm concerned of what I think about me and my strength level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a hard
Like pill
feat to conquer, right? Yeah, pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to flip on the Instagram and see these jacked people, or it's so easy to watch a movie and, you know, expect that was only hard work that was put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and how many people do you know that have the genetics, you know, that, you know, are successful and doing something with it, and then on the opposite end of the spectrum that have the genetics and don't have the work ethic behind it?
Yeah, and sometimes it can be a disadvantage for like their work ethic, right? It's like things come so easily that when they do like maybe try to progress or run into a roadblock, they don't even have like the mental fortitude, the mental aspect of it to actually like push their limits and boundaries or like even reach the top.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are honestly like not the best, that are not the, you know, that are actually more genetically talented than people maybe that are the, at the top.
Oh yeah,
the
for sure. Yeah.
Especially in stuff that's not even just physical too. It's like people might be super intelligent, right?
Yep.
Or like have like photographic memories, right? But that doesn't mean they're running like these $1 million companies.
Or they're not curing cancer with it.
Yeah, like they have like they could be those smart enough to be solving all these issues or problems or progressing fields of science or literature or whatever. And it's like
but they have no work ethic.
No,
so they're lazy with it, right?
Yeah.
It's been so easy for them to coast that they have no idea how to use it.
Yeah,
right.
They can give like a half-ass effort and still like
blow the competition away, right?
Yeah.
But where could you be if you went full send, right? Yeah. Like if you went full bore into something, you would be. That's the separation between the champions on the top of the pedestal and, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th place is the guy that has the work ethic put behind the genetics.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, dude, there's also people that have only work ethic and no genetics that are still crushing it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not always about your genetics, right?
No, and honestly, for me, most of the time, it's like it's cool to see somebody that's a genetic female, but I like look up to and admire, and I think they actually have a lot more to offer in terms of learning from them. The people that things don't come naturally to, right?
Yeah.
Like look at a coach. Honestly, on most of the time, or oftentimes, like the best coaches are not the genetic phenoms, right?
Aren't the strongest.
Are not the they're not the strongest, or like they had a harder route, so they had to learn all these obstacles or things to overcome.
They have experience behind
like if you're some dude that the first day you just tried deadlifting, you're deadlifting 500 pounds, right? Like, and then just peak to peak, like, you know, training cycle, you're just adding 50 pounds to your deadlift, and now you're at 900 pounds, right? It's like that guy could have done probably any program, any style, and just added 10 pounds every week, and just like his lifts go up.
And what did he learn along the way? Nothing.
He's like, just pick up more every time, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
how easy is that? Versus the guy that's been, you know, in lows and highs and
like how to switch stuff up, try different variabilities, different methods, like keep on rehashing their program, looking at different things. That guy has like just a wealth of knowledge, right? And he had to work to make any progress. He solved the equation, you know, because like he doesn't just given the answers. He's not spoon fed. Yeah.
So those guys are definitely the people that you look up to more.
Yeah.
Right? The people that have been in the rut and have been in the mud, waded through the water.
Yeah.
Those people with the work ethic to pull themselves out at the top of the hill, in my opinion, are always better than the ones that have even better genetics than that guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the genetic phenom. Let's say he gets to 800 pounds, right? And just he's done what he's done. He's never had to try anything. It's been an easy road. And then he actually does run into his genetic limit, right?
How do you progress from there?
And he is stuck and he cannot figure out how to surpass or try to change up the program, doesn't have like the experience or knowledge to get past that sticking point. And then say the guy that took him like 10 extra years to get 800 pounds, but now he is slowly but surely starting to surpass that guy.
Now he's going to look back to his record and be like, last time that I hit this wall, I did this. Let me try this.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It's like a stupid little horse in the hair almost kind of analogy, right?
Yeah.
Horse is slow as crap, and it's like doesn't have the genetic potential, but it had a slow, steady pace, stuck to the plan, you know, not lollygagging, had the work ethic. So that carries over in a lot of things. And I think, again, some of the most successful people are the ones that have also the work ethic behind it and the knowledge behind it.
Yeah.
Because they might even have a long-term potential than somebody that just gets there quickly or easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the end of the day, too, it's like the genetic factor is something that is no matter what you can't control.
No, it's out of your control.
It's kind of worthless to really overthink about. You can acknowledge it, and we are acknowledging that there are people that there's just no way, like they are just freaks, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that's just something that
Michael's an example of that. He's just genetically, he will always have just giant muscles. Yeah. That's how he is. Muscle bellies are big. He's perfect bodybuilding. He's a genetic freak. You just have to accept it.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter if like your starting point or you don't have that genetics, like you can't just make vast improvements from where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people can't still surpass you, and you can still like, you know, where you're currently at, there's still like, I think there's so much untapped even human potential that people that don't realize they still have. And they are that's where people I think stop, is they use it as an excuse, right?
Yeah.
And they don't push past that sticking point or that barrier or that hurdle or, oh my God, it's taking me so much longer to get there that like this isn't worth my time.
Thanks, Go Fast.
Yeah, little motorcycle in the background. Don't die, please. Please don't die.
Go
Don't
faster.
die. But
No, that's huge, dude. And I think, dude, hard work will always trump,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, even with the people that other people idolize, like Arnold and Ronnie Coleman, they're genetic phenoms, but the common denominator is always hard work ethic.
Yeah.
Just because those dudes made it, not only because they're genetic freaks, but they also somehow something happened in their life where they found the work ethic to push it to that level. They would have never taken it to that level.
and yeah, like bitter pill to swallow. If a guy's a really hard worker and genetic phenom, you lose. It doesn't matter. You can't outwork somebody that's working as hard as you, right?
That's the brutal truth, man, right there. What is that, the red pill, blue pill? Which one is it? It's like...
I don't know. But then you lose. Don't matter. Like, all the other factors you guys are on this level playing field for the work ethic part. Yeah, he wins, and that's going to happen. And that's just something you got to accept too.
Yeah.
But I mean, you at least got to figure out where your hard work ethic taps out at, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of people just don't know where that limit even is. I've heard people talk about like, I hit my genetic limit. Have you? I don't think you have.
I don't
think you know what that means.
I don't even think that it's a thing, dude. I think that at certain point your potential peaks, right?
Yeah.
But how many people have reached it? I don't know. Maybe even the greats didn't.
I mean, even the greats,
possible.
like how many people are still, the work ethic there's room to improve from, right?
Yeah.
Are you really on point 24/7 all the time?
No.
Right.
Like, I think that's probably more so than even the genetic potential. We don't really realize like how much we're always kind of falling short of that.
Leaving on the table.
If you're perfect in the work ethic part, like, I think you're going to beat almost most people that are going to have even genetic superiority to you, right?
Yeah.
So that's the factor that's in your control. That's the one I think is more important to focus on.
Yeah.
And I think everybody is like not dial that down. Nobody's like dialing that down to 100%.
I don't think anybody's ever been. Maybe Mike O'Hearn.
Yeah,
maybe.
So again, like, you have both factors. Awesome. You're just gonna go a million miles an hour for your progress and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think when you're already starting to have those like doubts and excuses, or like even we talked about before, a little bitch voice telling you like that your genetics are stopping you, I can guarantee you there's so many other things that you can focus on that you're not doing to make progress.
Right.
And I think the biggest limiter, more so than your genetics, is just you
And your mindset.
and your mindset.
Right.
That's what's really holding you back, not your genetics.
You have to learn to let go of things you can't control.
Yeah.
So say you think you're genetically fat, right? And maybe you have a thyroid problem, right? Maybe you have hypothyroidism.
Maybe your family's been on
Guess
these,
what?
Yeah.
That is controllable. You can fix that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
Because the thing is you don't know where you could be if you had the hard work. You don't know what your genetics are going, unless you're not using that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to always focus on yourself. Like, that's the biggest key that I want to preach in this, is just like, you don't know what your genetic limit is. No one does.
Yeah.
Really.
No.
I don't. Mike doesn't. Trey doesn't. The only thing that you can control is how hard you work towards progressing to it.
Yeah.
And who knows if you'll ever reach it? But that's the thing. How do you establish that work ethic, that hard work, when the process could be 10 years, it could be 15, your life. There's got to be a way for you to always stay on point and making forward progression towards that goal.
Yeah.
Because it's a lifelong process.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit a point and be done. You're never really done with lifting.
Yeah.
You're never going to be here's another sad pill. You're never going to be satisfied no matter how much progress you make in here. You will never be happy. It's a sickness. It's a disease.
Yeah.
You're going to think you need to be bigger, stronger, faster.
And there's always somebody that is bigger, faster, stronger, smarter.
And the moment that you
harder.
think you have beat the game is when you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you look in the mirror and you think that you're satisfied with everything, where does your work ethic go?
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You stop.
To trash.
Yep.
Right? So adopt it. Just be obsessed with the fact that you have a new addiction. Just let it consume you. Because this is a good thing for you to be obsessed with.
Yeah.
I think
progression.
it's natural to have like some level of like this kind of like addictive thing. I think it's a human nature thing, right?
Yeah.
We crave these like positive feedback factors that like make us feel good, do good, or like, get our body kind of going and excited.
Yeah.
But now what Chancellor's talking about is like pick the ones that are actually good for you, right?
Yeah.
I think, and it's like, and I hate it when people are like, you're obsessed with this or that, but it's like, why? Like, is that a bad thing that I'm like happy and excited and on fire for life, like
Right.
you should pick your addictions and let them consume you, because then you don't know how far they're going to take you.
Right.
And don't let them be
That's what
negative
life
things,
is,
obviously.
man. You're
And
gonna
here's the
have that
thing,
no matter
dude.
what.
If you want to be great at something, you're gonna have to be obsessed about it.
Yeah.
Right? People are gonna question what you do. They're gonna be like, why don't you go drink beers on the weekends?
Yeah.
Why don't you go to the fights with us? It's like, well, I have a workout planned. Oh, you need some time off. You're gonna isolate yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like that. That's what we are, right? You don't have to be like that. But if you really truly want to be great, that work ethic is going to cause you to be obsessed.
Obsession is, yeah.
Right?
I don't know, maybe it's just us, but it's like I love when you're obsessed with something. It's
Yeah.
a fun state of mind to be in, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, if it's a good thing, right? But
Yeah.
when you're obsessed and on fire, like every day, it's like you're just kind of waking up excited.
Yeah.
You have a new goal to hit. You're always pushing yourself. I think life is really when people get sad, depressed, or they don't
hit
feel
a
like they're living, as they're stagnant,
They
right?
hit a ceiling, right?
Stagnation. Or they hit a
And it's,
ceiling.
guess what? That is 100% controllable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? No matter where you are in life, your career, your relationship, once you hit that, you feel like you're not satisfied. It's because you are not putting the work ethic towards that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You are not taking it to the next level. You're not progressing. Progression is the only thing that should keep a human moving forward. Right? In life in general, other than what do you become?
Yeah.
A couch creature, dude?
Yeah.
Like you just
Yeah.
a comfort thing? Like
And that's when you get surpassed, right? Is when you get to
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody hungrier, younger, ready to go, try to overtake where you're from. And you know what? I think eventually you're going to reach that point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I've done what I want to accomplish. But most of us are just taking that route right away,
Do you think?
too early.
Do you think Jeff Bezos, when he made like his first,
Billion, right?
$1 billion, was just like, I'm good.
I did it. Yeah. Well, there's a reason that he's
No
still
way. That's
expanding
why
it.
he's like the richest man in the world, is because he
Yeah.
was obsessed with making more money.
Yeah.
Right? Obsessed with progressing his career.
Yeah.
That's the great right there.
And that's what you get addicted to, is not even the numbers or like the money or anything like that. It's like the process, the journey, the betterment, the solving of problems to keep going. It's like, how do you, that's like, he's created the most successful, like high earning business of all time, right?
Yep.
It's like, how do you progress that? And he's figuring it out.
And
still.
was that written in Jeff Bezos' genetics? No.
Yeah.
Maybe he's very intelligent. He's got to be,
He's
right?
mind for sure.
Yeah.
But what would he have
But
done with that
there's
intelligence if he
probably
didn't put any work
There's
towards
probably
it?
a researcher like at MIT that has a higher IQ, right?
Oh, yeah.
Someone that's smarter. And obviously they have different goals, but it's like, just because he's not the smartest or the whatever doesn't mean he can't be the most successful or accomplish the most or have the biggest impact on society, right?
Yep.
It's not just like I'm the elite at strength, I'm the elite at intelligence,
No.
It's like even if you have the highest genetic set point, doesn't mean that your impact, what you're going to do with your life,
Right.
your overall success is going to automatically establish you there.
I know a lot of lazy piles of crap that have really good genetics that just don't do a thing with them.
Yeah.
Right. So
Well, I think again, you get a lot more value out of the people that have that combined work ethic, to learn from them and inspire. I think some of the greats, like we were talking about just a minute ago, like even basketball players, right? Like Kobe and Michael Jordan,
LeBron.
like they just have this elite like level of hard work and obviously the genetics behind it.
Yep.
Versus like there might be somebody that's bigger, stronger, faster,
Better at basketball.
can get better 3-point shots, like just but they don't quite have that extra like
Edge.
legendary status, right? It's because they also have the work ethic behind it, and they're like, Michael Jordan's been retired for so long, and we still all talk about him, right?
Yep.
And it's because of that extra edge that he brought. That was just like that level of competitiveness and drive and work ethic is what set him apart from everybody. And obviously, he must have had great genetic potential, but it's the real impact, I think, and like what really sets him above everybody else is that the work ethic part. And so I think your work ethic and how your choices and your habits and how you live your life are really more inspiring and more impactful to society and people than, wow, you're like really big or really strong or really smart.
Right.
Because then what's after that? It's like, it's interesting and cool to admire, but it doesn't really impact people down to their souls or like, inspire them to do better.
yeah.
Right.
And I'd say that you could use this as fuel too, right? The amount of people that have the genetics to be a champion and that are using their full genetics and putting in the hard work is very slim.
Oh, it's not even a percent.
So be better than them. If you outwork them, you're going to be better because you're beating them on the hard work.
Yeah.
who cares if he has the more genetic potential? He's never going to reach it with the amount of work he puts in.
Yeah.
Right? That's the hardest worker in the room, right?
Well, it's almost what we talked about in another podcast, comparing like people that start off with a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, as soon as you got out of the womb, and it's like, as soon as you became an adult, you're a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not oftentimes, almost always, they're not the ones that end up carrying on that legacy or building a bigger, better company, right? No. Some people that had to work really hard and develop that skill set.
Yeah.
So it's like that gift of your genetics is not, could be your curse, or it's like, if you don't use it to its potential, it's just, it's going to be at a waste, or it's not going to set you apart.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think it comes down to how you look at life. Like, okay, you feel like you have a disadvantage here. You were born without money, or you were born with friggin' weak triceps or something, so you can't bench. Shouldn't that motivate you and set you on fire because you have so much more work to do?
Yeah. Work even harder.
Yeah.
You know it now.
Well, it's like, and what's more inspiring to you, like seeing this string bean, or let's say like a really fat kid in high school that all of a sudden like turns himself into like elite athlete, really ripped, really jacked, or the guy that has 6 packs since he was 6, right? He's just like, oh, that guy's always had like muscle and looks good. It's like, I always get more inspired by the people that like had a rough start, or the underdog start.
Had a transformation.
Had a transformation.
Of some sort.
Like, I mean, it's the journey that's really what I think is interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's cool when like you're not genetically gifted and then you still become like a phenom, right?
Yeah.
Because you just work so hard, or so disciplined.
Yep.
I think I heard Stan Efferding on a podcast the other day. It's like, he's like this giant world's strongest bodybuilder is what they quote him as, right?
Yeah.
Just like looks like a monster. He's in his 50s, like some elite numbers. But when he was like in high school, he weighed like 130 pounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when he graduated, right? So it's like that guy did not get the genetic lottery.
No.
But now has, at least, if he's not the best maybe, but he's in the top status, right? Like has records that, he surpassed like almost everybody that was genetically superior to him.
Yeah.
Because I can guarantee he's like one of the least genetically elite in that room.
Oh, for
but
sure.
He's beating people that he had below average genetics, and he still is at the top, right?
His work ethic.
Yeah. I mean, that guy's just crazy disciplined, right?
Oh, yeah. It was always present.
Yeah. So that, I think, again, can be your biggest rocket fuel and take you the farthest.
Yeah. And, and at the end of the day, that work ethic might cause, like we said earlier, that obsession, but don't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the mirror. Don't be afraid to, see improvement in yourself, right? It's not vain. It could be interpreted as vain.
Yeah.
But if you are obsessed with progress, progression, how you look, how strong you are, we post videos of us lifting constantly. I'm sure everybody is sick of it. But the thing is like, that is just keeping us fed, right? We see the progress. We see the strength that we're making. We see the changes in our body. It's feeding that obsession that we're always chasing that goal, right? Because if we didn't do that, how easy is it to wake up and not see any change in yourself?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you have it documented, even like something stupid is like, I do my accessories, I post them on my story. Those save. I can look back and see how I progressed in a linear fashion, right? How I've always been moving forward towards a goal. Or if I get injured or something happens and I fall back down, how did I pull myself out of that rut? Like what work did I put in that time?
Yeah.
Because I'm at some point you guys are going to hit the wall, right? You're going to burn out. And there's only one way that I've ever found to ensure that you do not burn out mentally, because mentally is when you burn out mentally, that's when life gets hard.
Yeah.
That's when your progress gets hard. That's when you stall out. The one thing that's happened for me, and I'm sure it's the same for Trey and Mike, is if I burn myself out physically, I ensure that I never burn out mentally, because I don't have the power in my mind to even think about that, because my body is so tired all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's why you see us do just crazy things all the time, right? Max effort days are just like that is just what do you call it? Passion. I don't know what the word I'm searching for is, but I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Will Smith did an interview one time, and he talks about his work ethic, and he says, if you and I get on a treadmill, we're going to see who outlasts each other on a treadmill. I will die before I get off that fucking treadmill. And when I get underneath that squat bar, I will fucking die before I don't give it an attempt.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the weight might be.
Yeah.
I will, that's how you go into it. And like, I dare you to get obsessed with something and get into it like that and just see how it makes you feel.
Right.
Like see how it makes you come alive. Just let yourself feel that. I dare you.
Because I would argue that every obsession requires some sort of work ethic. Even if it's a bad obsession, you've got to work towards it.
Yeah.
It's like if it's a drug problem,
How do I get my
how do you get more drugs? You're putting work in there to find. You're drug seeking, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy. It doesn't just show up on the doorstep.
Yeah. Right.
So use it in a positive way.
Yeah. Find
Right.
something positive.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. It's like, that's the whole thing is I failed is 10 times more of a person that said I didn't try. Because the guy that said I didn't try is just going to accept that, so-and-so is stronger, or so-and-so's faster, or so-and-so's bigger. But when you look back at the end of the day and you said, dude, I gave it my all. I mean, I died underneath that squat bar going as hard as I could, right? It was a 10-second grinder,
Yeah. Well, I just rarely find the people that kind of live that lifestyle. This is like just kind of almost crazy passionate, where they're just obsessed with something that they really regret it.
No.
No,
How
it's
much
like
more
never.
interesting are they to talk to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like-
it's like, and they might have repercussions from that. There are compromises, there's sacrifices you make if you want to be obsessed.
Yeah.
Like you are missing out on other areas of life that people would call balanced or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't
balance
really
is so subjective.
I mean, for us personally, it's like I don't really desire or envy a balanced lifestyle.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's like this white picket fence idea, right? Where it's just like everything's just gross.
Another gear in the cog.
Yeah.
But it's not a very good story. Would you guys want to watch a movie about a white picket fence?
Here's the
Do you
thing,
are you inspired by that, or?
I think that's a myth. I don't think that exists, because you get there and something slips in. Maybe it's complacency or something.
Yeah, it's like
It doesn't end well ever.
Yeah, it's idealistic, right?
No.
And it never happens. And then if you have a life that's so koosh, right, which is, like Trey said, never going to happen, you don't have the skill set, the fortitude, the drive to get past these really hard times, right?
And you're just a boring person to be
Stale.
around.
Yeah.
You're stale.
I don't want to talk to you.
You lack charisma. You have nothing.
Yeah.
You're not a flirt. Or an active listener, as I like to call it. But
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, like Trey said, I'd recommend trying to find something like that. I mean, it's just,
And
it's just,
it sounds cool when I say I'm gonna die underneath that squat bar, but maybe you're a painter and like you want to paint something crazy that you're obsessed about. Okay, then like maybe you would die before you don't finish that painting.
yeah,
Just
you
do
stayed
it.
up for 3 days straight on energy drinks, painting that wall.
Yeah,
Right? It's
This
like,
guy.
yeah,
yeah,
Same thing.
yeah.
it's
But-
obsession. Dude, it is the fuel to anything that becomes great. And what drives it is work ethic. It has to be. I don't see there's any argument around that. Right?
No.
Don't be afraid to, like Michael said, tip the scales, be unbalanced in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the people that are balanced and are walking around aren't the greats. They're not. What are they great at? Nothing.
yeah,
Right? They're the jack of all trades, but the master of none.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you're just another Joe Schmo.
Well, and like what really happens with obsession is like for us, that's what Chance talk about posting all the time. That is like we eat, sleep, drink this stuff. Like it's always on our mind. Like we talked about like 2 hours before this podcast about just lifting crap.
Yeah.
It's like we just can't not stop and talk about it. And that's I think where these obsession like that will take you farther than your genetics, right? Because like we were just spending so much time thinking about it, learning about it,
And there's a
obsessing
reason
over it.
There's a reason why you guys come to us, right? If we weren't obsessed with this, why would you come and learn from us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Who do you want to
Nothing to
learn
give
from?
you.
Right?
You want to become a master of your trade,
Yeah.
right? Who you want another physical therapist to teach you how to become stronger. That's not Mike, who's not obsessed with becoming stronger himself.
Yeah.
yeah,
What are they going to teach you?
yeah.
Right? Just everything that you could read out of a textbut,
The bare minimum, right? It's
right?
like I passed my
Check the
test,
box.
or
You're
I
going to go
don't
to
know,
a strength coach that isn't strong himself and, parties on the weekends and, has a really balanced life and has a really great active lifestyle, but he's never really accomplished anything great.
Well, he's just going to dive deeper, learn more, learn the ins and outs, like to such a level that just it takes that like it's almost like a mastery thing, right? You just spend 10,000 hours plus. You're just spending
10,000
so much time, so much intricate details, just really, really like honing in on things that like you don't find that you don't dig deep enough until you've like gone to the text and watched as many videos and just like learned so much that you just know this stuff like the back of your hand, right?
Yeah.
And those are the people like Chance said you want to learn from.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want someone that's just like, well, I know more than you, but I don't know, like, like that guy. That guy's like, just can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the people that you really like. That's where you'll just find the most value from.
And how do you learn that work ethic? Is you surround your people that are obsessed. right? You're you will conform to that obsession, right? If you are constantly in Forge, you think there is any member of the Scary Things that isn't obsessed with getting better?
Yeah.
Do you think one of us just comes in here and goes through the motion, doesn't BS and bullshit about lifting and progression and what we're doing? And no, they wouldn't fit in, right? Like,
I mean, we eat, sleep. We're here at 24. We are here 7 days a week in a gym.
7 days. Every day. I've considered living in my office.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. And then maybe some that's just like, there could be a guy that's all, I mean, there's plenty of them, right? They're just genetically stronger than us.
Yeah.
But for them, like, they're not as obsessed with it, right?
There's plenty of people, I'm sure, in Sheridan that are stronger.
Oh, yeah. I actually know there are.
But they're,
For sure.
But they're not putting in the work.
They're not obsessed.
They're not obsessed with it.
They step away. They kind of like sometimes are interested, sometimes not.
Yeah.
They don't like, aren't watching all
And
the
that's
videos.
not a way to
and
make
comment.
progress.
Yeah.
No, and then
It's
they
the same
and
thing
they-
with your weight goals.
Yeah.
Become obsessed with it, right? If you want to lose weight, you got to eat, sleep, and drink losing weight,
Yeah.
right? You're not losing weight Monday through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You're boozing and partying and eating whatever the hell you
Balanced,
want.
right?
You're not trying to stay balanced. No, why? That's not going to get you anywhere fast.
Yeah,
We
no.
talked about this so many times. I beat my head against the wall in the Fury 56.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about that obsession, that discipline. And it takes discipline to be obsessed with it too.
Yeah.
There's days that we don't want to be here. You have to be here. It's just something that you do now. You don't understand that. You don't just walk away and just do it when you feel like it's good. 90% of the time, we never feel like it's good in here.
No. But you're obsessed, right?
But we're obsessed. So it's like, I got to do it anyways. It's like,
Yeah.
so.
Like, I think we would literally have mental and physical withdrawals if we just like stopped doing what we're doing.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it would be bad.
I don't even know what
I
I
don't
do.
think I could.
That's not really life, honestly.
I remember like one time, like Nelson and I went on vacation to see our aunt in like Minnesota, and it's like, well, we didn't have a gym access, so we're just like lifting like the beds, like curling them and squatting them, and just like lifting them the hedges and like doing like a little hack squat with them, and it's like I can't stop working out.
I know,
but
dude.
it's like, but I mean, I needed that. I needed that little just like endorphin rush, whatever you get from working out. But like that's where you'll just never fall off the wagon and be consistent for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I honestly just find so much value in passion and just obsession.
Yeah. And here's the thing is once you keep doing it, it becomes a habit,
Yeah.
right? This forward progression, this obsession becomes, it's not something that requires a lot of, mental fortitude. It's just something that you now know that you're going to do.
Yeah. You're consumed by it.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I think that's a natural human tendency to have something that kind of consumes you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are just getting consumed by like short-term pleasures.
Yeah.
Because that's true too. Like, you're going to be like, I want to feel good. That's why we do these things. Like,
That's why
and if
none
we
of us
fall
can be
into
sober.
Yeah. No, yeah. You're high on something.
Yeah. Always, dude.
It's like whether it's a habit, an action, or obviously something chemical.
Yeah.
But it's like our brains are just wired for that, to find something that like makes us feel good, give us like dopamine and happiness. But we're getting like these dopamine rushes from our lifts that like other people would be getting from like cocaine or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
just like, junk food. It's like, oh, I love that feeling when I eat junk food or something,
Yeah.
right? But you are going to have to almost always, I feel like, find something that, unless you end up like sad and depressed, right? Like you're just never happy, but we're craving something that just makes us feel good, right?
Yeah.
But we're finding, and like with our passion and our obsession, it's like we're finding these like things that are throwing positive factors in our life.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's hard. We have bad days, but it's like, man, I'm just getting like amped up all the time, just like diving into this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's lifting, right? It's just
How,
meathead stuff.
how
but-
stupid is that?
But it's
just
such a
lifting metal around.
Yeah, it's
In a
literally
straight line.
It's literally a pointless task. Like
And it
you're picking
doesn't
up heavy
even-
things, putting them down. It's
Yeah.
like we're not.
End of the day, no one cares but me.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But I mean, that obsession is just such a fulfilling part of our lives. And I mean, that's why we're encouraging you guys to like try to find stuff like that.
Yeah.
Weight room can be part of it, but there's so many other things that you can just get obsessed with.
pick your poison. You're all addicts, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is an addict to something. Choose what you want to be. Make it beneficial. And
Yeah.
Be an addict to something that gives you self-improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think when people get like these crises and like life feels stale and boring is like kind of when like they do try to be overly balanced, right?
Yeah.
And what's up, lawyer?
Lawyers here.
But yeah, so it's like, I think why I'm kind of recommending being obsessed is because I think most people or a lot of people don't find it. and they're feeling unfulfilled in life, right?
Yep.
So it's like a long way about saying it, but we're finding so much fulfillment in being obsessed over something that we find at least positive.
Yeah.
But most people and a lot of people just, it's like, what's the point? I just like, or you're just like, your day to day is so mundane, and there's just like nothing that you're super amped about, right? It's because I don't think you've become obsessed with something and passionate about something.
Yeah.
And the step one towards that obsession is realizing genetics is something you can't control. Don't be obsessed over that. You only want to be obsessed with something you can control, right? And how do you get obsessed? You put the hard work, you put work ethic towards that obsession. It good or bad, you're going to do it anyways. There's going to be hard work to get you to the point where you become obsessed.
Yeah.
So, like we said in the beginning, forget the genetics. Who cares? Like, you can't control it. You can only control how hard you work, right? Become obsessed with that. Become obsessed on how hard and how much work ethic you put in towards something in your life, and search for that obsession.
Yeah. Boom.
I think that was a lot deeper than we were anticipating.
I know, we were just being like,
in there.
yeah, genetics.
Yeah,
but
something like that.
kind of trying to turn somewhere else.
Should be
but
like 12 minutes.
Maybe we're obsessed. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe we're just obsessed with hearing ourselves talk.
Yeah.
More likely. Yeah.
Probably.
But guess what? I bet you by episode 100, we're going to be great at podcasts. Like, we suck now, but we're going to be great.
You wait.
You just wait.
Stay tuned.
It's going to sound like just...
This will get better, I swear. But...
Who is... I'm going to sound like Morgan Freeman on this thing. Like, just the sweetest voice ever. Just wait. I'll be obsessed with it. But at the end of the day, build yourself, conquer adversity, repeat daily, do these things, become obsessed with doing these things, and you will be great and live a successful life. Punch the mic. Splam!